Hello everyone, welcome to History Forge. My name is Taylor Hamlin. Going over week 22 of my project-based learning U.S. history curriculum little combo. You can see right here on the board, or on the, board, I'm talking to you like I'm talking to my students. As you can see on my computer here, we have January 22nd. We started on Tuesday, it's a 4-day weekend. So, jumping right into it, the week was really about thesis development. I realized that one of the best things about doing a long project is you really get to focus on smaller parts of a project and just extend them. I remember being in high school and even in college where a teacher would go over a thesis and really we wouldn't go over it too long. Like we barely did it. It wasn't really dedicated because we didn't have a lot of time. We constantly had to move on. Next thing you know, the year-long project is we're only working on one thesis, so we have a lot of time to really dig into what is a thesis? How can we make ours better? And then move on from there. So it was really cool to see that. Another great thing too about this curriculum is I feel like it makes you collaborate more. It gives you the opportunity to collaborate more. So my English teacher on my team, we're going to collaborate on this, where I already have had the kids write a thesis, which is a huge standard in the English curriculum, and she's just going to borrow everything my kids have created and push them farther. So my students have already developed a thesis, and in her classroom, they're just going to go even a step beyond that. So for my classroom, doing that week of thesis development, we're pretty much done with what I plan on doing, and then I'd expect after 3 days of the English class, they're going to even have them better. So anyway, we started them from here. The thesis development starts with really just answering the research questions that they have. I always tell kids just to answer them like 20-minute reflections, and from those reflections, we can actually maybe flesh out a good thesis. Beyond thesis development, I did also go over immigration. We talked a little bit about that last week, where the students are going to be discussing their, the immigration and migration, early American history. So, think Louisiana Purchase, Lewis and Clark, Gold Rush, that kind of stuff. And we've already covered a few of those things. We also covered the Trail of Tears, the reservation system, and just more contact between Native American groups and just Eastern American groups. So we went through that, and I told the kids that we're going to have a debate. We're going to talk about immigration today, but we're going to bring in the context of the past. And so if you guys scroll down, we kind of see where it says read immigration articles. We started doing that. All the kids had to do was read a Newsela article. I like Newsela because it lets you drag the Lexile levels down. I might even be able to show you real quick. There is pro subscriptions, but you don't need pro in order to create classrooms. I'm pretty sure, I could be dead wrong. I remember using it when our school district hadn't bought it yet, and I was using it pretty much the same as I'm using it now. I think the only really big difference is you're actually able to assign things on Google Classroom. I'm not 100% sure. Play around with it. It's just called Newsela. I'll look for a quick article. George Washington, fine. I'll show you what this looks like. History Forge is kind of... my logo's in the wrong place. Here we are. So, trying to find it. So I'm just looking for an article right now. Play with Newsela, find articles. It's really easy to use, just basically using any kind of search function. So if you're used to anything with a search function, then it's going to work. I'm going to move my History Forge banner again, because this is the article right here. So you can kind of see it, and you see where it says text level 6, word count 542. That's right here is what we're looking at, and just looking here. It says max. We click on that, it'll actually change the Lexile level for you. So this drags it down to a different grade level. So 380L is about 2nd, 3rd grade. Max generally is always around 12th grade. Kind of just depends. But yeah, no, it's a really fun way to get kids to read the same article. So anyway, we did that. I have an immigration set that I used. The students got to pick their articles. I had 8 articles. I told them to pick 2. So the children got to pick, things hopefully that they're more interested in. So definitely enjoyed that. We already got a lot of great notes off that one. I can share that stuff later too. If you're really interested in how I build discussions, feel free to message me and I can show you those things. Moving on to Thursday. We did more thesis development, and I have this sheet called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I love this sheet. It's one of my favorite resources for theses. I think I found it from Minnesota History Day, and it basically just shows you... Sorry, my banner's in the way again. It basically just shows you a bunch of different topics here on the left-hand side. And if you move to the left to the right, or from the left to the right, it goes from bad to like good. So you have the ugly and then all the way to the good. So it's really nice because it shows kids like, hey, these are really common mistakes people make. And this is how you make them better. And so we spend a lot of time going through the sheet. I would say, over the course of about 5-6 days, we probably spend a half hour, 45 minutes just using the sheet. The kids peer edit each other, and we go back to the sheet and compare and contrast. And so by the end of it, the kids have really good theses. The kids that do the best tend to have like really good ones, like ones that I expect to make it to like the national level of our History Day competition. So there's a good resource there. We did a little bit more of the immigration article stuff. We didn't have time to do the discussion at all on Friday, so I bumped that to next week, which is fine. The kids got a lot of good time to reflect on their thoughts, so I think it's okay for the discussion to be pushed back. Thesis development really did take a long time. It's kind of amazing to see that the kids, with as long as they have a plan, as long as they have resources, they'll go for it. 95% of the children up will work if they have a clear idea and clear goal of what to do, especially if I'm giving them a chance to constantly improve. So we did that. We also did a peer editing on Friday. I made another video about that, so I'll make sure to attach it to this, but I'll see if I can find it here on YouTube. Yeah, it's right here. It's called Thesis Development and Organizing Peer Editing. So just go to my videos. You should see it. It talks about how I organize and set up that peer editing idea. But if you're interested, definitely check it out. It's the first time I ever did it this way, and I love it. I like it a lot better than handing out papers or having the kids trade, because I feel like I let go of control and I can't see all that. But now I have all the papers in one place, and it's really nice for me to kind of keep track of. It's really also nice for me to figure out who hasn't been really peer editing and who has. So really helpful for me to do that. Really enjoyed it too. That's pretty much it. So, going through the week. It was a really short week. We have 4 days. We have 5 days this coming week. So, if you have any questions about this stuff, please let me know. If you're curious about any of these things or how I can help, again, I'm happy to help you. But that's pretty much it for me. So, hope everyone takes care. Thanks for stopping by, and drop by again. Bye.